Welcome to day 9 of our Lent readings for 2025 on the Psalms. And today we're looking at Psalm 27. It has 14 verses, but I feel it would be good today to read all of it together. So let's read. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me, to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war breaks out against me, even then I will be confident. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord, and to seek him in his temple. For in the day of trouble he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his sacred tent and set me high upon a rock. Then my head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me. At his sacred tent I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. Hear my voice when I call, Lord. Be merciful to me and answer me. My heart says to you, seek his face. Your face, Lord, I will seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my helper. Do not reject me or forsake me, God, my Saviour. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Teach me your way, Lord. Lead me in a straight path because of my oppressors. Do not turn me over to the desires of my foes, for false witnesses rise up against me, spouting malicious accusations. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart, and wait for the Lord. The psalm starts with a great affirmation of the security God's people have. This is personal. He is my light to guide me, my salvation to deliver me, and my stronghold where I can take refuge. One thing that stands out to me in the English translation of this psalm is the amount of alliteration. That is not a design of the original Hebrew, but then when there are such things in Hebrew, we often lose them in the English translations. Just consider the words in the English translation beginning with the letter S in this psalm. The Lord is my salvation and stronghold, in verse 1. He is my sanctuary, in verse 4. He is my shelter, in verse 5, and my Saviour, in verse 9. Therefore, I will seek, in verse 4. I will sacrifice, shout, and sing, in verse 6. Then the Lord will make me stand and safe, in verse 5, and strong, in verse 14. And my enemies? Well, in verse 2 it says, they will stumble. In verse 4, the writer states that in the tough times he's going through, his only desire is to be in the house of the Lord. Though he knows the Lord is with him wherever he is, it is in the temple that he especially feels the presence and support of the Lord. It seems to me often that the opposite is the case with some believers, that when they're going through tough times, the tendency is not to be in the house of the Lord, to withdraw and stop attending church. Rather than seek the comfort and strength of being in the Lord's house, they become absent. The irony is that in the tough times, we need the support of the Lord and his people, and this should drive us not away from him, but to him. The church building is not called a sanctuary for nothing. Many people have found great comfort in the Psalms during tough times. James Hannington was the first Anglican bishop of Africa. In 1885 he was taken captive near Lake Victoria. Consumed with illness, pain, vermin, and the imminent prospect of death, he found strength in the Psalms. On the 28th of October, the day before he was martyred, he wrote in his diary, "I'm quite broken down and brought low, but comforted by Psalm 27. When you are struggling, seek the Lord, seek his sanctuary, seek his people. He will be your stronghold, your shelter, and your salvation. And in seeking him in his sanctuary, you'll be able to stand." Until next time, have a blessed day.